here's the exact reason why you should be starting copyrighting your beats in 2024 as a music producer. Here we go. It's your boy Dez got that fire. Glad to be back again. Haven't made a video in a good minute, so it's always great to get back in rhythm and try to get my muscles back working as far as getting this content out to my producer community or anybody in general that just want to learn and educate themselves a little bit more when it comes to this music business stuff, separate from just being a career and everything like that. But today we have a very good topic to talk about. I've been hearing a lot lately about. Well, first off, I've been hearing a lot in the producer community as far as like thievery, as far as people taking beats from other producers and slapping their producer name straight on it and just calling it a day, and just saying, look, hey, I made it and all that. And now it's been also other cases where I've heard a producer not only doing that, but trying to get a copyrighted strike. The original producer might have copyrighted a beat and all that. Get them striked on YouTube, all DSP, any platform online that they can say that the original owner, producer claimed for it. They putting strikes on them. And I'm like, yo, this kind of a little crazy. A little bad name for the producer as far as in 2024. But that was just a little side note. Back to the topic at hand. So on Billboard, I've been hearing lately that there's been like this one artist been popping off a little lately. I should be on TikTok a little bit more, but he's been popping off lately on TikTok, and his name goes by Trefuego, if I'm mistaken. He's a 20-year-old rapper, created a viral hit called 90 miles per hour or 98H. So it's been blowing up pretty lately, and Sony won a big part of their cut apparently, and it seems like they're suing because of the song that he used. They're suing for over 800K first of all, but it's for a sample that was used that's owned by Sony that was not cleared. And I'm gonna get a little bit more into the article right here. So in this little article on Billboard that I don't pulled up, it says a rapper popular of the can't even speak. Can't even speak again. A rapper popular on TikTok must pay Sony Music more than $800,000 in damages for using a copyright sample without permission. Federal judge ruled Wednesday, March 27th, saying that the big fine would teach him a six-figure lesson about carefully selecting materials included in his raps. Sony sued Trefuego, real name Dontrell Davion Clark Rainbolt. They put his name out there. I didn't, don't come at me for it. In 2021, accusing him of using a blatant sample from a 1986 Japanese instrumental song in his 90 miles per hour track. And Sony claimed it has been featured in 155,000 TikTok videos and streamed over 100 million times on Spotify. So right now we're looking at a good case of making sure you do your back end side as far as in the music business, especially if you're sampling. But a little bit more into the case is going to reveal a little bit more than just him just using the track, because overall Trefuego is just the artist. He ain't the artist and the producer, so he didn't create the beat. So that's gonna come in a little bit later. But right now it's just pretty much summing up to say that Trefuego, in a song that he was promoting as his own, published out on DSP, pretty much saying that you owe us money because you didn't clear that sample. It wasn't something that you got permission to use for your own uses and purposes, especially if you're getting paid for it. So they're like, well, we need some of that money because we see how popular that sample was. It's the reason why Sony still owns it and hasn't released, full power to really anybody yet. That's why it's uncleared in a way. So they want to keep that type of power, and right now that's what Trefuego is dealing with. So a little bit more into the article. After struggling to locate him, a federal judge ruled that last year that a 20-year-old rapper had in fact infringed Sony copyrights. And a follow-up ruling Wednesday, the same judge ordered him to hand over a whopping 800,000. 802,997, covering roughly 700,000 he have earned in profits from Spotify and other platforms, and approximately 100,000 he would pay Sony in license fees. I can't read today, folks, but bear with me though. Bear with me. Court hopes the case will serve as an 802,997 23 lessons for defendant in carefully selecting materials included in his raps. U.S. District Judge Mark T. Pittman wrote in his decision. Also, I don't know, y'all might not be able to see these words. These words are kind of a little small on my screen, so me reading them myself is it's a strain on my eyes. So let alone y'all being able to read it. That should be so y'all can see that. I don't think y'all can see that before. More into the case, the judge also ordered Trefuego to pay ongoing royalties, including 50% of cut of publishing revenue and 20% cut of recording revenue, to pay $2,230 in legal costs incurred by Sony. Sony pursued a reasonable, non-freezable claim to vindicate infringement of his copyrights work. Judge Pittman wrote, "Some may query the wisdom of pursuing a claim against a relative small fish like Trefuego, but that fact does not render Sony's motivation improper with their lawsuit unreasonable. Sony has been chasing Trefuego in some since January of 2021, when the company notified him that the 90 miles per hour was built on an illegal sample of Reflections, a 1986 song by Japanese composer Tashifui Hanata, I believe that's how it is, after filing takedown results in August 2022 to get the song pulled. Sony finally launched its lawsuit that December. So right now it's coming down to basically what I just read. It was an uncleared sample. So uncleared sample, you didn't ask for permission. That's one. Two, you're making a lot of money and it's being going on. You pushed better a little bit more than the original because people may not even know the original. That's another part of also why some songs or samples don't get cleared, just to keep the originality. Don't have nothing try to compete with that. So that's kind of what's going on. They kind of been on Trefuego for a good minute. It's time at 8. So basically, I don't know if the producer has any particular type of involvement in this case. I would think so, because I don't know what gender is, he or she. I believe it's a he though. Gonna have to have some type of involvement into it because it was the creation off of that sample, and the sample came from a sample pack. That's what the backstory is to somewhat of this article I'm talking about right now. I haven't read it in it. I don't know if it's included into this article, but it came off of a sample pack originally from the producer who made the beat for Trefuego, and that sample, out of that sample pack, it wasn't cleared. It was apparently stolen in some particular type of way, claimed by Sony. So, and the beat was made off of that sample, but she was still recognizable in a way for Sony to detect that. Trefuego has that, and he's the property owner of the song. So that's why Sony so far is coming after him. It says that Trefuego brazenly sought to ride the coattails of Hinata's creativity and popularity without regard to the United States copyright laws of rights of plaintiffs. The label's attorneys wrote at the time, he used and copied plaintiffs' work without so much as asking or paying a cent to plaintiffs, and continued to exploit their music despite plaintiffs' demand that he stop. Sony lawsuit took a bizarre detour last year, with Judge Pittman ruled that the label could forego traditional methods of containing Trefuego and instead simply send him direct messages on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and SoundCloud. In doing so, the The judge ruled that Sony had made intensive efforts gone to great lengths to find Trefuego in real life, including 7 separate attempts to serve him and hire a private investigator. In one particular notable effort, Sony representatives apparently went to his mother's house on Mother's Day in hopes that he would be there to celebrate with her, but still came up empty. Sadly, he was not there, and his own mother claimed she did not know who he was, the judge wrote. Those procedural issues settled, Judge permitted case in November and sided decisively with Sony, though the judge noted that the case pitted one of the largest international entertainment conglomerates on the planet against a 20-year-old kid. He ruled that David and the Goliath poster would not protect Trefuego from liability. Okay. To quote, 90 miles per hour or 90 HM. I said 90 MH, while I'm saying HM, 90 MH. This case involves a young man who was too focused on getting dough to understand the broader implications of purchasing a creative work without proof of originality or license to use. The judge wrote in his November decision, quote, 90 miles per hour again, Trefuego likely imagined Sony wasn't really smoking enough to prosecute this claim, but they did. Neither Trefuego nor a spokesman for Sony responded to requests for comment. So yeah, that's pretty much the sum up of this big shenanigans that's going on and all that with Trefuego. And really, it's really like a real sad story. So it's just really all just to sum up to say, but one, be careful for producers for the sample packs that y'all do buy. Do y'all get from well-known people or people you don't know? Really anybody. And just try to just do your due diligence and just do a little bit more research if you can find or search up that sample if it's possible, and if it's not, then I mean you're good to go. And whatever type of licensing within that sample pack you bought, you know, you'll have to do that. But it's just the importance of copywriting your stuff, incorporating your originality, your creativity as far as what you're putting out, because people like Sony are just waiting, just big sharks are just waiting now. And the music industry ain't like how it was 10, 20 years ago, nothing like that. So it's constantly evolving. So you best to have all the type of protection that you can for your intellectual property, because people will be out there to try to keep everything you got and don't even care about it. It's clearly as you see. Now granted, I don't know Trefuego. Trefuego may not be the most nicest person. He could be the most nicest person or humble person you ever met. But it's just a situation of if a 20-year-old just trying to make something out of his life in a way, and just, you know, not being informed on the proper things, also not having the right guidance around him to inform him for the proper things, how to approach things. Some things may not be said, and you just put in a situation like this. So it's always good to copyright your music, because people out there, all different levels, are trying to get your stuff. And in the day of independency in this world that we live in, as far as in the music industry, great time to own and put your name and your stamp on everything that you do, what you do. Because if not, somebody else will claim it for you. They'll be reaping the rewards that you could be having, all the hard labor that you put in. This was a good, interesting topic I really wanted to talk about today. So, and you know, glad you sticked around this far in the video. Got more videos coming in the future. What exactly? Gonna be big topics about music, whatever. Still producing as well, as far as tips on that. But not necessarily no plans. I just wanted to really talk about this today and just, you know, talk with people. And I appreciate y'all for making it this far. It's your boy Dez Got That Fire. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.